time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up of the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mire.
All right, family. We there? Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosella Menin. Yes, family, y'all already know. One perfect balance. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Maybe get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, it is already the 28th of June, which is a Friday. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's like every time you look around, it's Friday again. So, yeah, the quickening. We're living in those days, man, when time seems just to be slipping by without ceasing. So we got to make sure we're paying attention for sure, for sure, for sure. Tonight it's going to be interesting because we got a number of things to touch on tonight. But let's keep it in a particular order because I know this is just going to be one of those nights. There's so much trouble in the world right now. You know what they say? There's so much trouble in the world right now. Yeah, well, that's what's going on. So much trouble in the world right now. But we got stuff happening there. We got stuff happening far. We got stuff happening right here. So we going to try to chop this up and see how we can fit it together because it's all relative. But what's most important tonight, we're going to start up with that. Y'all see a number of things happening in terms of the weather system. We're going to give you a little update on that real quick, a little food for thought. So let it be known. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically Incorrect is up and running for sure, for sure, for sure. I got to give a few special shout outs tonight. One, because it's the 28th, it's definitely a special day for me personally. And you know why it's a special day too. You know who watching would know. But definitely special shout out on this specially entry day to someone very dear and close to me today for sure. It's been an interesting solar return, and I give more strength to you, more upliftments to you and the family on another day of life on this realm. We give thanks for everything. And so that's how we do it for sure. Also want to show up Maxine for the program earlier. Give thanks to Bobab. Give thanks for the opportunity. Very interesting. And looking forward to returning again. Yeah, it's been a wonderful day, uplifting day, mighty day, and just absorbing the energy. Let me say this also, family. If you haven't been paying attention, like, I don't know how you could miss it. But remember, the whole cricket thing was a big thing. It started out, we had the rain and everything, but June 1st came and went, and it went quick. But tomorrow, the 29th, I think tomorrow's supposed to be the finals or something along those lines. I ain't into cricket, so those who into cricket can let me know. It's tomorrow's the finals because the weather looking kind of, funny. Yeah, looking kind of, iffy. I ain't sure how that's gonna work, but nevertheless, we're going to look at it really quick. I see you, Night Nurse. I see you. Got the flag up and all that. I see you. All patriotic with yourself. I see you too. Smiling butterfly, smiling butterfly. You don't know how it is already. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. We give thanks. Daffodil, I see you too. I see you for sure. Go tell a friend to tell a friend, Daffodil. Yeah, Daffodil, you're uneasy. Got your messages. Yeah, to be continued. To be continued, man. Greetings to you too. Greetings and salutations. Greetings, yes. Shout out to all the family in Dominica, Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, Trinidad, Guyana, yes, and Suriname. Big pen. You gotta get me that link. You gotta get me the link on the ground, boots on the ground. We have a different kind of conversation for sure. Shalom, family. Shalom. It's an Africa playing India, I think. Look, we don't even understand the science of that. because don't forget this thing take turns. It was China at one point. India right now is on the rise on a different level. And guess who's right behind India? Africa. This is not by chance. It is not by chance. So if that's really who's playing in tomorrow's game, believe you me, that is not by chance. But we don't understand that science. That's a major, major, major event. The final's supposed to be tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my people again. Greetings from Dominica. Yes, Elder. Good to see you joining us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to touch some stuff tonight. Haitian Revolution 2.4. That's 2024 for those who ain't connecting the dots. Is this population control? Is it population control? We're going to find out. Don't forget, we got to pick up from Miss Cattle's conversation. And I knew they was going to do this. Like, I knew they was going to do this. But I got some stuff to play, some videos to play, some links to share. We got to look at this thing different. Plus, y'all see what's going on in Haiti right now. And y'all see what's going on in Kenya right now, as if the two isn't connected. Like, you cannot make this up. Cannot make it up. And so we're going to look at this thing holistically speaking. The weather speaking, right? Yep. Speaking of weather, Daffodil. But before I get into that, let me first say, for those who observe today as a sacred day, Shabbat Shalom. For those who observe, Assalamu Alaikum. Yes. Peace, Hotep, Ashe, to the conscious community. Namaste to the brothers and sisters out there in the East. And I must say, Kidamani to my brothers and sisters, Rastafari, live, reign, and rule. And to everyone else, I must say, a good love and light, pure love and pure light. That's what's up. So, having said that, let me taxi, man. But speaking of weather, Daffodil, I think it's only right that I touch this, however brief. And a lot of folks say, well, no, I ain't paying this to mind because, it was a story that I heard when I was young about a boy who cried wolf. And as the story goes, they're all hanging out, and a guy was put on duty to basically, keep track of the wolf, to make sure the wolf don't sneak into the chicken house, or come and carry the lambs or whatever the livestock was at the time. And so he was there, and everybody was inside having fun, and he kept hearing everybody having fun. So he got bored and he cried out, wolf, wolf, wolf. So everybody ran outside, like ready to, fight off this wolf and defend their livestock. Those who had chicken, who had, the sheep or whatever else. And when they all ran out from whatever they were, having fun, and he out there on guard duty, he was laughing because he felt it was funny, because it was like a joke, So they went back inside, and he figured after a little while again, he got bored again, and he did the same thing again. They all came out again, like, yo, okay. So then they like, yo, I was just joking. I just was out here bored. And okay, so they going back inside, and basically he did this a couple of times, and eventually while he sit there, just thinking what else to do, he saw a pack of wolves coming. And wolves are wolves. And so in his haste, he jumps up, goes ring the bells, and cries out, "Wolf, wolf, wolf!" And the guys inside heard the bell. They all stopped. They looked around and looked at each other, and they're like, "Man, you know what? So tired of this, man." Like, so they continued to partying and drinking. And the moral of the story is, that as the story goes, the wolf ate the boy as well, and everything else. And the moral of the story, they talk about, be mindful of the crying wolf. False alarms is what they call it. And what I don't want is people to be alarmed in any form or fashion. But what we don't want also is people to be caught, like they said, the virgins at the time, who were not necessarily fully prepared. I think that it's important that we, at some point, pay attention to some things, even if we don't necessarily agree with all things. And so, having said that, I remember Dominica a few years back had to face some heavy pounding, and a few other islands as well, during that time. And here it is now, we have a system that is facing us. It is actually facing us as far as what it does in the next couple of days. And bear in mind, I say couple because it's supposed to be allegedly 2 days away. And 2 days away is only 48 hours. And so 48 hours ago, this wasn't a thought. And yet here we find ourselves. So family, I just want to play this clip real quick. This is a brief update. and just a portion of it. And I'll share the link for those who are interested in paying attention, and not, like I said, not as a fear, but as a situation where you're being informed. So let me go ahead and just drop this science real quick, and we can go from there.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Brennan here at the National Hurricane Center. It's 5:00 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, June 28th. We're coming on this afternoon to talk to you about a new tropical depression that's formed out here in the tropical Atlantic and some other activity that we have going on. The basin's actually fairly busy for late June, but the most important thing and the biggest threat right now we have is Tropical Depression 2, which has formed about 1,225 miles to the east of Barbados out over the central tropical Atlantic. So we're going to talk about that system first. We're also watching an area of low pressure in the northwestern Caribbean Sea that has a low chance of development as it moves into the Bay of Campeche over the weekend, and another tropical wave out here way out in the eastern Atlantic that also has a low chance of development over the next 7 days. But first, we're going to take a closer look here at Tropical Depression 2. The center, as we zoom in on the satellite image, is located here. Now, there's bursting thunderstorm activity, again, about 1,225 miles to the east southeast of the island of Barbados in the Lesser Antilles. The depression is moving off quickly to the west at 17 miles per hour. Right now, it has maximum sustained winds of about 35 miles per hour, but that's going to change. We are expecting the system to strengthen pretty steadily to a tropical storm tonight or tomorrow, and then be a hurricane when it approaches and moves through the Windward Islands as we go through the weekend and into early next week. So there are sort of three main points we want you to take away as you head into the weekend, especially for folks watching in Barbados, the Windward Islands, and in the Eastern Caribbean. So the depression is expected to strengthen and be a hurricane as it reaches the Windward Islands late Sunday and Monday. And we'll take a closer look at the forecast here in just a minute. But there's going to be a risk of hurricane force winds, heavy rainfall, storm surge, and rough surf in those islands. We don't know exactly where those worst conditions are going to occur, but it's likely that we'll see hurricane watches issued for Barbados and portions of the Windward Islands later tonight or early Saturday morning. Then interest farther downstream in the central and western Caribbean, we'll need to monitor the progress of this system. It's too early to determine where those impacts might be later on in places like Jamaica, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, or even Cuba as we go later into next week. So let's take a closer look at the forecast here. Here's the center of the depression, again, over 1,200 miles east-southeast of Barbados, but moving very quickly to the west at 17 miles per hour, and we expect a westward to west-northwestward motion over the next couple of days through the weekend that's going to bring the center of the system near and over the Windward Islands as we go from Sunday night into Monday morning, and then out here into the eastern and then the central Caribbean as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. So we are expecting, again, the depression to become a tropical storm tonight or Saturday and become a hurricane by the time it reaches the Windward Islands on Sunday and Sunday night, and continue strengthening even into the Eastern Caribbean and be at hurricane strength as it moves perhaps near or just south of Hispaniola or near Jamaica or Eastern Cuba by the time we get to the middle portions of next week. So in terms of hazard timing, in Barbados and the Windward Islands, this is the most likely time of arrival of those tropical storm force winds. We're looking at Sunday night into Monday morning. So you still got a couple of days to get ready, have that hurricane plan in place, listen to your local officials in those islands, and they'll tell you how to get ready and protect yourself this weekend. As we go into the portions of the Eastern Caribbean, if we were to have, say, tropical storm force winds in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, those would most likely occur Monday night into Tuesday, reaching Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti Tuesday and Tuesday night, and Jamaica or Eastern Cuba Tuesday night or into Wednesday. Now, a reminder, forecast will change every 6 hours. We're going to issue an updated forecast on this system, and forecasts for weak and developing systems like tropical depressions are a little more uncertain than they are for tropical storms or hurricanes. So we could see some changes in the timing or the exact track of this system as it begins to take shape. This is the chance of hurricane force winds.
All right. So as like he said, he's going to bring some updates. So I just want to drop that science there real quick for folks who may not necessarily be fully prepared. In spite of what's going on all over the world, we got to take care of what's at home at this point. And one of the things I want to say right now is, if you know you have family members who may have homes that is not that secure, you go check on them maybe tomorrow, you get a chance, and make sure, you know, you do what you need to do between tomorrow and Sunday. Check on the elderly in the community. Check, you know, just do some due diligence. Make sure you got your water. Y'all know the drill already, like, you know, your water, your lights, your batteries, your matches, candles, that kind of stuff. And as always, the grab bag. Keep telling y'all, make sure you got your grab bag. Make sure you got your grab bag, you know, because you got to grab it to go. You got to grab it to go. You know, can't be sticking up. So keep that in mind also, and be prepared for anything at this point. As far as what happens next, we're actually going to monitor this very closely for a number of reasons. Spirit said keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on it, because like I said, at this point, right now, there's so many things going on. Even like you said, going towards Haiti, you can imagine right now, Haiti, in spite of what's already going on in Haiti, imagine they're faced with a hurricane on top of that. And at this point, when it reaches into the middle Caribbean Sea, it's supposed to develop even more. Again, these are the experts, not saying that they have not necessarily been wrong before, but I find that this particular website, this particular guy, Hurricane Center, these guys, they fly planes in, who knows if they know more than they say, if you follow what I'm saying, but they tend to know what's going on. I'm just saying. But anyhow, let's pay attention, family. Like I said, check on your family. If you got parents, grandparents, your neighbors, people in your community that are vulnerable, check on them. Make sure you identify the shelters in the area. So if you got to make a move, you got to make a move. The men that are able and can assist, make sure you position yourself to be of service if you're called to be of service. You know how we do. And that's how it is, man. But yeah, that's what's up. Empress, I see you too, family. Greetings to you too, family. Daphne says she loved this weather. I know the feeling, man. Nika, I see you too, family. Divine greetings, family. Divine Jack, you Lynn, love and light to you too. Shout out to the sheriff. Give thanks for tuning in. Give thanks. It's a World Cup. Last match is Saturday, man. They're planning early with this weather. I don't know what they're planning, man, but you know how it is, man. Sean, we see you too, man. The grab bag is very important. Once you know, show it to the Clark family, man. Show it to the Clark family. The weather coming to help Haiti slow down certain things. Listen. I don't know if they got hurricanes in Kenya. That might spook them guys, man. In fact, they might think the Haitians call this. Look, this is crazy. You cannot, look, I ain't even going to touch on it yet. But like I said, I got some stuff I want to share tonight. Definitely want to share. I want to get into it. So it's like, let me just go right into it really quick. Let's just do this, man. Because the question is, man, this, it is really right now in Haiti. Imagine there's Kenyan soldiers on the ground trying to bring peace and order, allegedly. Why don't we just round up like 1,000 Haitian gang leaders and drop them off in Haiti? In Kenya. Let's take up, and let's do that instead and send them over there and see what happens, huh? I wonder how that would unfold. That'd be the worst, right? That'd be crazy. I know somebody was saying that earlier. I had to think about it, like, man, like seriously speaking, like really, this isn't cool, man. They always put us against each other all the time. Nevertheless, the weather right now is going to speak on our behalf. And I'm telling you, family, not only one, but there's one right behind it as well. And although, it's just behind this, man, somebody said to me earlier that, God is a Bajan, so, there's always end up missing. I told someone that was God giving us warnings. The question is, did we heed the warning? Or we were sleeping on the job? Right now the government has been involved in so many different things. We talk about corruption, all kind of stuff. And they come with their eloquent speeches and whatnot in the House of Assembly. And, it sounds good at the time from a colonial perspective. But from a people's standpoint, it sounds very different. And for some reason, they don't seem to be able to see that. But we're going to touch on it. When we talk about population control, think about it. Population control. We can go through this all day, every day. It will always add up to be the same thing. Let me go ahead and just drop this one in, because this is where we left off on Friday night. Not Friday night, on Wednesday night. And this way I want to pick up tonight. Before we go into any further, should I do this first or do this one first? I think we're going to do this first. We're going to continue where we left off. I think that's the best bet. If you all can remember exactly where we left off, it was somewhere around here. Yeah, you remember that? So we talked about population control. In fact, before I go into this, let me say this instead. I actually did some deep diving and I found the document that Ms. Cattle is actually reading from. Yep. So I'm going to just copy this link real quick. You know, I got to come and drop this in the comments. I want to put the link in the comments real quick for y'all to download. Go download it. You can read it for yourself. Go look at it for yourself, and you'll see it is called, what page am I on here? So I can go back page. Okay, page 34. It's called Barbados Population Policy. Barbados Population Policy. That's the name of it. And you can go and download it. It's on barbadosparliament.com website. It was an upload bill resolution. So this is what they're discussing. And outside of, like I said, there's a lot of things going on right now that we might not be paying attention to, like cricket. This need to be focused on a serious note. Don't mind all the eloquent speeches by Ms. Cattle. It sounds good, Ms. Cattle, and I applaud you for how you explain it. It sounds somewhat plausible, but let me just let it speak for itself. Let's resume where we left off, family.
But I want to turn quickly before I sit to the first sub-goal, which is increasing the population of persons. I don't say persons, I prefer to say people. Increasing the population of people of working age. Sir, much of what has to be done, and that is why the population policy pulls together a group of ministries and actors who have to come up with the action that actually actualizes, that is a very clumsy sentence, the activities and the interventions that bring life to this policy. They're not contained in the policy itself. So for example, we have to, at the appropriate time, look at who gets to be a Barbadian, who gets to call yourself a Barbadian, who gets to be a citizen. There are many in the diaspora with ties to Barbados, family ties to Barbados, that bemoan the fact that they must feel isolated, that they cannot contribute, that if they come here, they're not recognized as Bajan because of how far removed they are, because they might be a granddaughter or of a Bajan father or a grandson of a. Let us have the conversation about people actualizing themselves as Barbadians and how we're able to allow them to do that and to count as Barbadians who are living and working here, if they so choose. But we also have to look at who moves from other parts of the world to come here. And I want to be very clear. The reason that this population policy looks first and foremost at the issues of carrying capacity. That's what this policy looks at. What is the population that we can carry? What are the commensurate levels of investment in things like water and sanitation, road infrastructure, education? Because we have to look at that first. Let us make sure that we build out the wherewithal to then say, we are going to invest in the productive capacity of Barbadians and residents here. We're going to support family well-being to support reproductive decision-making here first. And then we have to say that we welcome those people who are willing to come here and make Barbados their home, contribute to our economic productivity, but also contribute to that social dynamism that the policy speaks to. And we, in coming up with this policy, we didn't leave these cultural and social relational issues to chance. You may not wish me to call them out, but one of the contributions that Mr. Rudder was able to make to these conversations had very much to do with some of the cultural norms and evolution of a society that starts to welcome others. But Barbados has a history, has a legacy, a proud legacy of welcoming others. I dare say this, every Barbados Labour Party administration has a proud legacy of welcoming others. And it is when there were unceremoniously ejected by another administration.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get too far into this yet. I want you to know the welcoming others she's referring to, according to the same document they had written, is 186,000 people over a period of time. 186,000. Just as a note to self, just for the record.
That we started to suffer the consequences of our insularity, or of their insularity that they would have wanted to impose on the Barbadian people. But Barbados is a welcoming society. Not only that, we leave here and go all over the world and expect people to welcome us. To live, to work, to stay for a day, to stay for a year, to stay for 20 years. We go.
Yes, Marsha. We go to countries with populations like 100 million. You know, we go to countries that have populations in the 20 and 30 million. 20, 30 Barbadians are lost in the sauce, Marsha. So although your point is noted, you know, it's a little different than welcoming 180 plus thousand people in a country that's barely under 300,000 population. Come on, Marsha, make it make sense, man.
When you go to Panama, you're inclined to stop somebody on the road and say, I know you. You see yourself in people from Panama. You see yourself in people from Guyana. You see yourself in people from Venezuela. All over this globe. Mm-hmm. We have people excelling all over the world. And we expect when we send people away that somebody is going to treat our children good.
I like how they shift that about, you know, the population in terms of treatment. And understand this dialogue is to convince people that this is a good thing. That what they're doing here is a good thing. No one is objecting to anyone visiting Barbados and going. What you're talking about is welcoming people to become citizens, where the average Barbadian that go overseas to become citizen, whether it's America or Canada or Europe, let's use those major ones. That's pretty much the only place we go to become citizens, or maybe Australia for some special people. For the most part, you know, think about it. You're talking a small fraction of people in comparison to nations that have as a population millions of people. The handful of Barbadians that do leave, even if they do leave, which we don't have any massive migration people here going overseas looking for jobs. I mean, this thing is so interesting in terms of how they're trying to spin it, how they're trying to sell it. It is absolutely absurd. But hold on, let me let Ms. Cattle finish the rest.
Expect that people are going to be accepted and allowed to meet their potential in other environments.
Crazy.
By the same token, if we want to ensure that we have and we live in a Barbados that provides opportunity for all, it is time for us to continue the conversation about embracing others who come, and at the same time that we are investing in improving opportunities for Barbadians and those who live here, we are doing the same for those we welcome. It is not a zero-sum game.
Let me let her finish what she says next. Ms. Cattle, all due respect, right here.
And let me address now the people who might want to.
She's referring to people like myself.
Stand in this place. I don't think the ones on the outside would, but stand in this place and suggest that we are choosing the other over ourselves. We are.
Although they really are.
Never doing that. Barbados has never, under a Barbados Labour Party administration, done that.
That is absolutely not true. But let me let this play.
Barbados has never, under a Barbados Labour Party administration, done that. Barbados has never, under a Barbados Labour Party administration, done that. It is not a zero-sum game. There's nothing to say that we cannot continue to invest and increase investment in Barbadian people and in future generations and in the environment, and continue to embrace those people who will come and contribute. It is the model of successful societies all over the world.
And although Ms. Kettle has a point, Barbados was not modeled to be a successful society in that capacity. Why? Well, think about it. They are not invested the way they should have in education. Because if they had invested in education, you see, this is my point. The amount of young people we have right now of age, they're trying to make it seem like there's this massive gap between those who are retiring and those who are coming in the workforce, as if we don't have thousands of young people right now who are not currently employed in any meaningful way. You had a whole bunch of folks cutting grass, I mean, all over the country. A lot of folks home and working, a lot of men on the block. We already know what time it is. We ain't even gonna talk about prison. Yes, and crime is linked to poverty and also, education and other social issues. This is why the situation is what it is. But what is more interesting is this, and I want to play this video as well. Let me just go right to it. In fact, I should have just video file. Let me just go to the video file. I want to thank my people for sharing this with me. Show it to the inbox crew, man. This right here.
My concern is.
Let me pull it from the top. I thought this was interesting because I got this today while I had this planned for today. Let me let this play. And this, just give it a listen, family.
400 years. My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the US population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
Interesting. The quick fix, bring some people in and plug the holes. Well, if there's an issue with babies being born in Barbados, then the question is, how come we don't have an increase in birth rate? What changed? Why is it that which is funny because I could tell you for a fact, a lot of other cultures that are here are having babies like rabbits, man. Everywhere I turn, I look around, they be like 3 or 4 clinging on to a sheet of somebody's leg or somebody wearing I ain't gonna say that this is not right. Yeah. And it's like, well, wait a minute. How comes I don't see a lot of, our sisters like that? Most sisters got one child, they think they're in China. I don't want another one. I ain't want another one. And like I said, I understand the circumstances, but family, we got to do better. We got to do better. It is an absolute must at this point in time. And so, having said that, I say that to say this. Although Ms. Cattle, it alludes to the fact that this is not a zero fix, I would like to think that, in fact, let me make sure I quote her correctly, because I don't want nobody to say quote Ms. Cattle incorrectly. And let me go ahead and play that last clip again, because I think it's important to understand where she's coming from.
Same time that we are investing in improving opportunities for Barbadians and those who live here, we are doing the same for those we welcome. It is not a zero-sum game.
Zero-sum game, that's what she said. Although we're improving it for Barbadians, when you say improving for Barbadians, and what capacity exactly? What are we talking about? Improving, because again, no one is really talking about. No one's really talking about the fact that the educational system, the way it has always. This was the first thing they said when they came in. They're gonna look at 11+. That's one of the big changing topics everybody's talking about. 11+. They've been in here since 2018. And this is 2024. We still have 11 plus, although there's another whole conversation. The existing curriculum, the way it is, the actual curriculum in school. And you got some schools where, I mean, you answer students a question, you take a survey right now, and have some sort of, and teachers being assessed. For the most part, teachers aren't teaching the students jack diddly squat. You're literally the BLP administration. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Not that the DLP wasn't any different, because Ronald Jones is Ronald Jones. As far as he's concerned, the youths were demons and they needed to be prayed for and prayed over. Ironically, he ended up being the one that was prayed for and prayed over. But the BLP, in all reality, currently is creating a permanent underclass by deliberately failing the youths of this country. I mean, if we take a look at statistics and numbers, the murder rate in the last how many years, let's really start to look at this and really look at the numbers, the same way y'all post the COVID chart, the status, the statement, whatever you call it, y'all should post one in terms of the crime rate and the murder rate for Barbados under the previous administration and the current administration thus far. Look at the numbers, Ms. Cattle. On a serious note, you like numbers? Want to talk numbers? Let's talk real numbers. Let's talk some real numbers. Let's look at it like that. We have lost a lot of young men violently in the last few years. Not that we haven't lost them before, but specifically in the last few years, it's been crazy. Trying to turn Barbados into a cowboy town. And why do you think that is? Because things are prosperous here? Nah, things dread, man. The cost of living has gone up significantly. And nobody trying to have no children with the way life is. The cost of food, baby pampers and wipes, and the whole hospital, the medical aspect of things, cost of living has gone up. Ain't nobody thinking about no babies right now, period. And they know this. So rather than deal with the cause of the problem that have this particular administration looking for an imported solution to the problem, it would make sense to analyze how we got in this situation, remedy that at the base level, and go from there. If there's a spillover, there's a spillover, but invest in what we already currently have. It don't take much to educate people at this level if you're really serious about it. People are looking for an opportunity. Create it. Rather than offering a solution about importing folks, welcoming folks. These folks that come in, what are you going to do with them? Where are you going to put them, Ms. Cattle? We have enough housing to house this many people? Where are you going to put them? The government has a plan for housing? You're telling people to come. Okay, let's say you said people come and the bill is passed, and a month later you have in fact, before I go there, man, before we go there, let me do this instead. I ain't playing. Hang on a second. Let me do this one instead. Let's just hypothetically speaking that a month, 2 months later, while y'all are planning this welcome one and everyone, and don't get me wrong, to visit is one thing, come and stay is a whole different conversation. Because if there are no opportunities here for people who are here right now, who have degrees and are looking for gainful employment and can't find any, how are you going to find employment for people coming in? Like, how does that work? And why would you encourage folks to come over to take positions that people here can't even seem to acquire? You keep saying home drum beat first. Well, I just want to play this clip, and I'll tell you what my feelings are about it afterwards. Let me go ahead and add this to the screen. Y'all remember this guy, right? Okay.
What is on my heart has finally come to reality. So what are we doing? We have a chartered flight that is moving from Ghana to Barbados and Barbados to Ghana. And the flight that is moving from Ghana, I just don't want only Ghanaians. If you're an African and you want to be part of this history, I just need 250 people to book this flight. It's a straight flight because we are reversing the Atlantic. And reversing the Atlantic, I don't want you to pass anywhere. And I'm telling you that if you are going back home, you don't need visa. I mean, no visa required because both governments have agreed on this journey. So if you are coming from the Caribbean to Africa, you don't need visa. And if you are moving from Ghana to the Caribbean, I mean Barbados, you don't need visa. All you need to do is to pay for the amount, because this is a chartered flight. And I want to be on the same plane with you. I want to be in the Caribbean with you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let me just rest that there temporarily. So I remember in the past where they had chartered flights from Ghana to Barbados. And I remember the time when they got here, the flight decided it wasn't coming back for people. I remember that. When it left, it took folks back. But I mean, when it came, it didn't come back to collect people. And that was a whole other conversation. Some of y'all might remember that. Why am I saying this? Okay, no, I'm not opposed to Africans or anyone for that matter coming to Barbados. I'm all for it. What I'm saying is that, what exactly are we doing when we say we are opening? Because remember, folks first came on ships and then they weren't allowed to go back, which is funny because Barbadians and the government of Barbados is so sure that we are all Africans here. You know, why don't the government arrange for folks to go back home for free, seeing how the responsibility falls on the government for bringing them here in the first place under the Union Jack that this country pretty much, pledged allegiance to. So the funny thing is that when we say we welcome everyone, we welcome everyone. But what is the objective? What is the objective? One thing I noticed from going into QEH, right? And again, I say this out of love, man. A lot of folks may not like it. But I find that the Ghanaian nurses who work there, they function a little different. I find the interaction is very different. I find the communication is always some kind of, I don't know. And I don't want to say this for everyone, so I don't want to paint the picture with one brush. But I find the experiences I've had personally, and I like to engage and interact. And I found it to be always very strange. And I don't know if it's a case where they just decided not going to interact at a level. Maybe they're not sure, there's a small group and maybe they figure, let's stick to our own. Maybe it's a language barrier. Maybe it's a cultural barrier. Maybe they think that Barbadians are, I don't know, maybe descendants of slaves and they were always free in Ghana because Ghana was the one that was shipping slaves. I don't know. I don't know. I just got questions, family, and I think we need to explore this thoroughly, like how they explore everything else, so we can make informed decisions. I think that's one of the most important things we need to do. And so, although I recognize that we are looking to make progress, I think there's some things we need to really start having conversations about, because from my standpoint, because of certain events that happened in the last few years, if y'all know what I'm talking about, I suspect there's a different reason why they have to bring folks into Barbados at those kind of numbers. And so I'm just saying, I think we need to start looking at this thing very serious, because although a lot of stuff is going on currently, this policy right here they're trying to put in place, this resolution, because notice it's a resolution. This is what they're saying needs to happen so that Barbados and Barbadians can enjoy the quality of life that we so enjoy, which is funny. You say quality of life, man, like you crazy. Up to the other night, had another shootout. So when you say quality of life, where exactly are you referring to? And which community you referring to? Because they're different Barbadoses for different people. So although this might work for some, this sounds like a replacement program, gentrification. That's what this sounds like. Get rid of some and bring in some. That's what this sounds. This sounds like gentrification with a new name. Is it population control? That's the question. That's something we really need to ask ourselves as the people. What really is going on here? Let me check the comments and see what the people are talking about, man. In fact, hold on a second. Let me do something else here, man. It's Friday, man. Y'all know it's Free Up Friday. Let me open up the lines, man, to get your thoughts and comments. I'm going to place the link in the comments. If you want to come in the studio, feel free to do so. Just remember, like I said, avoid certain words, sound, so that the people don't say it on here promoting certain, violence or whatever. And, that kind of stuff. Let me see if I could do this again. Let me see if I can do this again. In fact, yeah, I posted the link right there. Y'all go check that. The link is on Facebook and it's on YouTube. Let me go here and I wasn't on live tonight. I'm actually on the screen. Let me go on Facebook and actually join my platform. Let me see what's going on, man. Yeah. Let me see what's going on here. Let me get this name here, man. This is what I want to, yeah, this is what I want to see. I'm screenshot this thing and do some research on it when I get a chance, because this is twice in a row. It's not unusual, but this is a bit unusual, but we'll see what happening. But yeah, the lines open up. If you feel like coming on board, y'all already know what time it is. It works better on Chrome platform. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all already know how we do. Live stream. So Barbados and Barbadians, man, we need to pay attention to what's going on. On a serious note, though, we need to pay attention. So let me just let this ride out. Ms. Cattle has a lot to say. We understand that, you know, she's doing what she considers her job. But go check that link out from Parliament and see the resolution they put on the table and familiarize yourself with it and realize that while we looking left and right, meaning Kenya and Haiti, they're trying to pass this quietly. Quietly. We must pay attention to this, because you remember the welcome stamp, right? Yeah. I won't even get into the dialogue or the document. Go check it for yourself. There's so much to read. And when you read it, especially, hold on a second, especially when you get into what the words they use. Hang on a second. Let me give you the language they use. Policy goal. The policy goal number 1, policy goal number 2, and policy goal number 3. The funny thing is, sub-goal, policy 1, sub-goal 1.1, let me just give you that one. It says, increase the population of persons of working age. Increase the population of, well, she said she didn't want to use the word persons, and I admire her for being honest about that, but people, which is interesting, and there's a difference, of working age. Yeah. Yeah. So unless you plan on cloning individuals and that's introducing adults into the system, well, yeah, you're talking about hiring people from outside the nation to fulfill places in the nation. What roles are we talking about? This is being done because, don't forget, the Hyatt Hotel is being built. And they already said, I played the video, that they're going to bring in their own staff. I mean, yeah, we'll hire some locals, you know, and then they could work their way up. Notice he didn't say they could fill a few positions. He said work their way, because in reality, you're gonna be the bellboy and the maid. Everybody else, you know, they bringing in management, complete staff, full staff, hundreds of people. Well, I shouldn't probably say hundreds, because I don't know how much they plan to employ in that particular facility, but I don't doubt that they're bringing in a lot of people coming in. So they got to put the necessary frameworks in place, the prerequisites in place to justify what they already know they plan on doing. Follow what I'm trying to show you, people. It's all relative and it's all connected. Don't think that they're doing this and they're talking about this like some random willy-nilly something. They know exactly what they're doing. She was speaking of her friends in Parliament. Greetings, Noel. Greetings. I see you. Things need fixing here for our people before we think about bringing in people. Yeah, I agree, Andrea. But the thing, like I said, they got a plan already. The guy already said it. And I played that video. They plan to bring in their own people to work in that multi-million-dollar resort. And who knows what else they plan to do in other resorts. Good night, King Alfred. We see you. They'll be housing Sam Lords, huh? I wouldn't doubt it one bit. Like I said before, they're teaching our children, but not for their betterment, but for benefits only. Yep, those who are already in a better financial position, just raising good worker bees. Well, I'm telling you, man. Serious. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings. Focus. The need of the locals is of no consequence. Improvements will be made, but not for the benefit of locals. The question is, do these people know what they're doing? Of course they know what they're doing. Ms. Marcia Callum did not write this document. In fact, at the beginning of the document, it outlines all the people who were involved in the acknowledgement section. And there are quite a few individuals here. Quite a few, you know. So again, go download the document and take a look. Take a look. As far as I'm concerned on this right here, I don't see any familiar government name. No, these are the experts, quote unquote. It was the preparation of the draft population policy was led by the Barbados Population Commission, established in January 2019. Members of the commission are, and it goes through a bunch of names. Family, go download this and take a look. These are the things they're working on behind your back. They come out, they talk about it very nonchalantly, you know, and kind of justify it with the rhetoric in the assembly. And, you know, most folks, because of the language and the lingo, okay, not realizing that, you know, man, let me see if I can find the page real quick. And I know I have this. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me see. You know what? I know that Marsha didn't read that part. I know she wouldn't have read that part. You know, why would she? But I know when I read it previously, they had outlined it. Let me see. As a justifiable starting point, the formulation of population target can be informed by considering the size of the population that the country would have realized if the replacement fertility rate had been maintained since 1980. In this regards, by 2050, the population would have been approximately 400,000. Really? I remember that night they had this conversation though. They were like, maybe like, I tell you, there were more people on the panel than there were in the audience. I would never forget it. But don't worry, I'm gonna find that spot for y'all, man. What they said, what their recommendation was to government. The importation of 180,000+ people. They done lost their marbles, man. So what's their true plan for the working age here? Well, the retirement gonna go up basically because you got to drain everything out of you, everything. History repeats itself. A future of having slave wages. Once you know, they're bringing that many people to work, then what's left for Barbadians, you know, is that you're going to just have to fend for yourself, and they're just going to watch people bury people morning, noon, and night, the fallout. And they know why. They're shifting the population. It's a shift in the population. That's what it is. So Haitian Revolution 2.4, 2024, is this a population control? Is this population control? In every aspect. What's going on in Kenya? Same thing. I thought the government in Kenya is corrupt. Like, let's be honest. All these governments are function the same way. They all do. The reason why Kenya is having this kind of fallout, because this was the plan. Whether he knew it or didn't know it, trust me, this is the plan. He jumped to the opportunity to do this, run right into Haiti to bring peace and the quote unquote democracy, bring order back to Haiti. And on the day they'd plain land, more chaos than ever before breaks out in his country. He was brought, in fact, he was elected, like Miss Montley was elected, to recoup the missing money that was misappropriated by the previous administration. When Miss Montley came in, remember she had the interview, she talked about the receipts, and she gave them a time frame to bring back the billions of dollars that was misappropriated, that was unaccounted for. Maybe they did bring it, maybe they brought some, but we have never heard anything about that since then till now. Well, he too was brought in with the intention of recouping monies that was obviously taken by the previous administration. And this is why he won his election. But then he became just like those he was criticizing in the first place. In fact, he became somewhat worse, as far as I'm concerned. And that's where we find ourselves today, family, in the position we find ourselves in. So the question is, what are we going to do? Part-time job on the rise. Yep. Somebody said a universal basic income will be given to the locals. Yeah, hold this and sit down. But in order to get this, you got to do a number of things. A number of things. And if you refuse to do it, well, I ain't going to tell you. Because during COVID, a lot of folks was actually getting a basic income deposit right to their checking account ever so often. And some folks knew about it, other folks didn't know about it. Some folks reaped the benefit, other folks didn't say a word. After watching last night, Trump and Sleeping Joe debacle, I was ready to pick up myself and come home. But who is selling out Barbados? We know who set you out. I wouldn't say selling out, man. I think Barbados has been sold already. I think it's up to the people who are here now to start recognizing and paying attention to other local or organized movements who are looking to self-sustain themselves and join forces. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no other way this is going to get done. And yes, we could take a leaf out of the page of Kenya and put Gen Z out in the street. The truth and the fact is, I've been saying it forever, the youth has always inherited the revolution. The older folks they talk, but they're not really trying to give up what they already have. The youths who are looking to get something are the ones who will be out there making the most noise. The difference is you're dealing with a population who has always known their freedom. They've always known how things were in terms of their struggles and whatnot growing up in that environment. Barbados is a different kind of place, man. A totally different kind of environment in terms of what we pride ourselves in, the educational system and knowledge base. Our youths, man, we see how the youths are functioning. We see how it's going on right now. And guess what? While we're empowering our youths to go against this, well, to put demands on the system for change, again, I encourage the youths to recognize that they have the power themselves to create that said change. They have the ability to create that same change. And while we are protesting, and I agree, it brings awareness, let us also start to do for ourselves rather than asking them to do for us. I totally agree. Time we do for self, man. On a serious note, stand up and be counted, man. This right here. There was a knowledgeable elder at the policy document presentation where it refuted all of their claims. He even offered to share his insight. I remember that very clear. That elder was very, very straightforward, and he did offer them some help. I think they rejected his help, but he definitely refuted their claims and said that they were going in the wrong direction. But what he probably didn't know is what their plans really are. So what he's looking at is a holistic way to fix Barbados, and what they're thinking of is gentrification. And that was the issue, because he actually outlined and showed them on their own chart where they were going wrong. It was the funniest thing. And that video is still on. Well, it should still be up. Probably because I mentioned it now, they might go and take it down. You can look this up. It was at St. Michael's School. I'm sure it'll come up. Y'all should go take a look at it while you can. Maybe the inbox crew could find it and post a link in the chat somewhere. Jackie said, creating house and field workers. Straight up. Family. That's what the plan. That's what their plan is. So, well, at least that's what the plan appears to be. Let me put it that way. And like I said, the Hyatt did announce that they plan to bring in their own employees. So they got to create the opportunity to say, well, look, we welcome these folks to come of working age to work, but they're not bringing them to work in the government at the level of government. They bring them to work on the field and in different aspects and cogs in the wheel. We got to pay attention, family. We got to pay attention. Having said that, man, let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. Like I said earlier, though, pay attention to the weather. You're already seeing the weather bands and the rain coming and going ever so often. That's the weather bands. Start to pay attention and realize that the system is moving very quickly. They talk about Sunday to Monday. Well, this is now Friday to Saturday, and then Saturday to Sunday. So understand the window is getting smaller and smaller. So let's just pay attention. Like I said earlier, go check on your elders, check on your family, check on your community, check on the vulnerable amongst us, and let's see what's going on, family. In the meantime, I going to take an exit. Since somebody in calling yet. Mental illness actually circulating in our parliament. I like this right here. This mental illness is actually circulating in our parliament within and among these politicians. Yeah, of course, a lot of mentally ill men, they don't want to admit it, but it's clear. It's clear as day that something wrong with them, man. They're not like us. That is a fact. That is a fact. They're justifying this as if people can read and see what they're doing. The Barbadian youth are not like Kenyan youth, yeah, or youth in BIM are too divided. Well, classism is classism, right? But they have a lot of faith in the youth of Barbados, but they are a bit different. There are different levels to youth in Barbados, and again, they you see it, man. You see it. But I have faith in the people of Barbados to make this thing happen on many different levels in many different ways, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Change is on the horizon in Barbados in all aspects. Family, let that sit there for a bit. It's been an hour. Y'all going to have a rest, a peaceful night. I got to go and check on some folks with this weather situation. So I got to go and do some work, Black Line Security. So I'm on the road. One of these nights in this weather, I'll probably do a live, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe Sunday night we could touch the road, depending on the weather, the timing of it, and we'll show you what's going on. So we keep an eye on the storm. In the meantime, y'all keep good, stay upful, stay joyful, and stay true to self, man. Make sure y'all, like I said, tomorrow is another window. Get what you need. Don't bomb rush the supermarket, but make sure you have your matches, candles, the things, your essentials. And do not forget to prepare a grab bag. Medication, documents, important documents, security devices, whatever that might be for you, and everything else you need. You know what I mean? So that's what's up, family. That is what's up. The other thing I want to speak on, I'm gonna give a link real quick to go and watch. Definitely go and watch this one. I won't speak on it now, but definitely go and watch this. I'll put the link up in the comments. Y'all go and watch this. This is your homework tonight. Start to pay attention to this, family. This right here. Start to pay attention to this right here. The BRICS currency unveiled in 2024. Let me post the link right here for you in the comments. Start to pay attention to this right here. This is another major change that's on the horizon. I keep telling y'all, the money in the bank, Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all not listening, man. Y'all not listening, man. Anyhow, family. Wait, hold on. I see Noel here coming in the studio late. Noel, I see you trying to creep in. Greetings, Noel. How you doing, man? Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Can you hear me? Because we're not hearing you, Noel. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right. I see that. Maybe he lost communication. Nevertheless, family, like I said, full joy the evening. Go check that link out and see what's up. Yeah, see what's up. Pay attention to that one right there, man. All right. Let me go ahead. I had a tune to drop, man, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna play that kind of energy tonight. I can play something a little different. Slightly different. Slightly. I heard from the elder earlier, and showed it to Bishai. Me showed it Bishai as well, because I think that's important too. We check on the elders, like I said, and the rest of the region. Everyone need to really pay attention here. Do sound a little different. Let me just go ahead and share this real quick. Something brand new for my people, man. Beverly, this said for you, Beverly. Something brand new for the people, man. Brand new.
Lord. Bella big wall round university. Don't upload a technology. Bella big wall out so round you. Government said them not make enough money. It's off for free. That's how you said the education free. It's off for free. That's how you make lots of proper money.
Education, family. Must be free for the children, man.
Hi, children. How are you doing this morning? Good. Nice. Free up the education for the little boys and girls in the tenement yard. Life in the ghetto is so hard, but with knowledge there is power. You can claim the reward. Teach youth them they are bound to achieve. Self-motivation in yourself you must believe. Courage is the gateway, knowledge is the key. Give them support and stability. Mama also papa struggle on the double every day and night to keep the youths them out of trouble. And every nickel make a muckle run a taxi or the shuttle city bubble for the children.
It's off for free. That's how you said the education fee. It's off for free. That's how you make lots of proper money.
Free it up. Double up.
It take to know we make nice money. A better dream. We meet one another in a halfway tree. No more separation, we want unity. Stand together, it's a necessity. One people out of my day. Make a good life for the family. Not take bloody money from an ex-MP.
Jamaican, I got none of them bad enemy. Everybody internationally. Them I think we always friendly. In a Kingston and in a Germany. No money for the education fee. Education about Marcus Garvey. Mr. MP, you're contradictory. Nobody want no bloody money. Government said they don't make enough money. Yeah.
Grab the education, man. Empower the youths, man. Stop holding back.
Got to make unity.
For important people.
It's off for
Your head ain't good at all, man.
The education fee. It's off it free. Get off it free. That's how you make lot of proper money.
Yes. Christmas there, man, and man, it's one perfect balance, family. Man, education free, man. Y'all already know, man. That's what's up. They're trying to tell you about bringing in people and all kind of stuff. We ain't got no problem with that, but don't lie to the people. Y'all know exactly why y'all talk about properly. That ain't the reason why. Stop lying to the people, man. Stop telling lie, man. Been paying attention, man. Anyhow, y'all, full joy the evening. Maria said it again. Catch when it rain water. Catch when it rain water. Drink some rainwater. I'm telling you, man, it just make the body feel so different, man. So different, man. If you catch it out in the open, it's better. If you're running off the roof, man, you might go boil it a bit off the galvanize in case the birds might have, stool or whatever on the roof. But yeah, catch your rainwater and drink some rainwater, man. The best water you ever taste, man. Yeah. Up full and joyful night, family. We gonna connect. Remember that. In fact, let me give it to you tonight. Let me give it to you tonight. Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you.
Politically incorrect.
Yes.
Politically incorrect. Yeah. Politically incorrect. Real news for the people in real time. Politically incorrect. Reality from the royal elect, it's time to get in place for real news for the people in